woman in Florida got the attention of the nation when, in front of millions, she paid this unexpected compliment to Donald Trump.
Thank you very much.
I have to say, you have a great smile.
Thank you.
She's Paulette Dale, and she sure got my attention. Kindness? Being polite just to be polite? Paying a random compliment in 2020? Who are you, new best friend? Sit back, relax. This is Affinity First. You're about to meet Paulette Dale. Was it strange to, well, we'll get into this, but I'm just curious. Was it strange to see someone doing essentially an impression of you on national TV?
Bizarre. Very bizarre.
Mr. President, I have to say you have a great smile. He does. You're so handsome when you smile.
I didn't think it was funny at all. And I usually think their parodies are hilarious.
Yeah.
But of course, that might be because it was about me.
Right. Like, it'd be one thing if, like, you know, you're in the public eye or you're used to it, or gotta be strange when you're not used to, like, wait, they're doing an impression of me?
He didn't look like me, although the outfit was great. Oh my God. They really paid attention to every detail, down to, oh, I'm not wearing it, down to the pearl bracelet, the pearl earrings, this necklace. That was great. But I really don't think she sounded like me. Sort of cool to be immortalized on Saturday Night Live.
Okay, so can we talk about that? Because I just, you know, after you and I talked, I went and started, you know, or I guess the next day I thought, okay, let's see how much traction this really gained. What's Paulette doing on Google the next morning? So when I Googled, I found several things, as I'm sure you have too, and you've been forwarded things. But one thing, speaking of being immortalized, one of the first things that came up was the official White House account on YouTube, or the Trump account on YouTube. And there was the clip. There was the clip from the debate. So it's like, you're down in the history books.
Had no idea. The official White House. Oh my goodness.
What you did, other than stand out, just as someone who was, you know, several people who stood out. But what you did was you actually did something that no one else has been able to do in a long time for me. You got me to stop thinking about the politics and the madness and the drama, and it just made me smile.
Now, please know this was not planned. I had no idea those words were going to pop out of my mouth. But there was such tension in the room. There was just a lot of stress due to the combativeness of Savannah Guthrie, of whom I'm usually a fan. You could just feel the tension in the arena. It was palpable. So by the time I got up, I think that was my way of relieving my own stress and adding a moment of levity. Again, unplanned, just came out of my mouth. But sometimes we do what we need to do without having really strategized on how to accomplish what we need to have done. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. And what I wonder is, do you do that regularly? Or if not regularly, do you have a pattern of doing that where you will break the ice essentially?
Absolutely. I'm an icebreaker.
Yep.
You go to a meeting with people who aren't speaking to each other, or a party, and I know something about the different people, so I'll think of a commonality and say to person A, did you know that person B was where you were last year? And the next thing you know it, person A and B are like old friends and I'm completely forgotten. Which is my plan. Very good at pointing out commonalities when I know about them to other people.
I'm like that too, by the way, and I found it to be so helpful, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Then the two people link up and you're kind of on to the next thing.
Exactly. Doing it to a couple of other people who are standing around staring at the wall.
I think a lot of people, I don't know, I'm just going based on Twitter comments and like the vibe and the feel, which in 2020, who the heck knows? But it seems like, I mean, everyone wants to either say something bad or make fun of anything. Like nothing can be good. Nothing can be good. It's like, let me tease about this or let me say something negative about this. And it struck me that maybe being an icebreaker person, let's call it that, an icebreaker person, it's just relatively uncommon, I think, in the grand scheme of things.
It's unfortunate that that's the case, but you may be right. I can't explain why there aren't more people who feel as I do, that you don't have to be unkind to those whose values or political views or philosophical views you don't agree with. But too many people feel that that's pro forma, that if I don't like this person or I don't agree with this person, I need to act like I despise them.
And it's like, if I don't like you, I'm going to need to prove it. Like, you don't have to prove it. Describe to me what this last week of your life has been like. Describe that to me.
Well, I am quite surprised and overwhelmed with all the attention this generated. I have been vilified and I have been held in very high regard. Some Twitter comments even suggested I should win the Nobel Peace Prize, which is a bit absurd. However, I've been criticized for being blind, for not being able to see well, for needing new eyeglasses.
Okay, let's just review here. Bette Midler is tweeting about you.
Yes.
Saturday Night Live, let me get this list here. I made a small list for you. Saturday Night Live, the Alec Baldwin on NBC's SNL is interacting with a character inspired by you. Someone doing an impression of you. There's a Vanity Fair story, TMZ, the entertainment website, The Daily Beast, Metro UK, Breitbart, USA Today, and that's just to name the ones that I had time to look up.
The Washington Post, Huffington Post, a few more.
And that's just the start. That's just, I mean, I'm sure at the end of the year when it's like the year in review and the highlights and lowlights of the year, you'll be a highlight. But I mean, forever, it's forever there. What has the last week been like in terms of, I mean, is it just, you said overwhelming?
Well, it's overwhelming, but part of it has been rather wonderful because I have been receiving communications from individuals I have not seen or spoken to in 40 years or 50 years. Friends from college, various colleagues over the years. So we've reconnected, and that is really life enriching. So I'm very grateful for that.
Would have possibly never happened had this moment not occurred.
No, it would never have happened.
I think when people see someone complimenting someone else, it's so easy to jump to you're hitting on them, or you want something other than just to say a compliment. Isn't that funny?
Yes, it is funny. Years ago, I took a workshop. I don't remember the man's name. He's a world-renowned expert in intercultural and interpersonal communication. And he said that, isn't it funny that a woman can compliment a man's tie and the man thinks she wants to marry him? When I compliment a man's tie, I simply mean, I like your tie.
That's it.
Period. That's it. Why do you read something else into it? Because you want to, possibly? This I can't explain. But yes, people are very peculiar and misinterpret compliments with great frequency. So, smile means I like your smile. It doesn't mean that I'm hitting on you or I want to be your fourth wife, as has been suggested. I like your tie. It doesn't mean that I want to go out with you or have dinner with you.
Let's ask this. What would you be doing right now if COVID-19 had not hit and if we weren't in the middle of a global pandemic? Because I know you do a lot of travel. What would you be doing if we weren't in the middle of this health emergency?
Right now, right this minute, I would be on a river cruise in Eastern Europe. That was my plan for this week of October, but of course that was canceled.
This would not have happened. Would you have been in the country the night of the town?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have. Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So COVID-19 leads to all things. Wow.
You know, Joseph, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. There are days, those days where something really horrible happens, you just question that. But in hindsight, you look back, and I think the wisest people I know say that and believe that.
I've been there. Again, our age difference. So I've been where you are, but you haven't been where I am yet. You will be. And in my life experience, which has been quite rich, I've found that to be the case. So I am speaking from experience when I say that. Everything happens for a reason, for better or worse. And it's usually for better.
Any more town halls for you?
I don't think so.